Hello again, everybody. This is the Omega Knight Bear 09 here, and welcome back to The Legend of Dragoon. In the last episode, we got into the Limestone cave and learned a little bit about Dart's past. In this episode, we're going to get the rest of the way through the Limestone cave. So we're going to start by going over here and collecting 100 G's. Woohoo! All a G from me, mate, baby. Going fast. Now, over here, you'll notice this rock with these green lights around it. These are called rock fireflies. What they will do, you won't see them too often, but when you do, they're very useful. They are free heals. Yes, Dart used to be saved by them a lot, as did Levitz. If they were close to a battlefield, well, of course, anything that instantly heals you. Dart waves his hands, and they glow prettily. And suddenly you feel better. Oof, bright white light. Oh boy. The light from Rock Firefly has a healing power. Well, Shauna learned at least one thing. Well, I know something you don't know. What is that? I'm not telling. Well, you have been away from each other for 5 years. It's natural not to know about each other. Wait, my mom aren't like that. Every time I go to Bale, she welcomes me with the same smile. What? Did I say something wrong? Let's get going. Your mother's waiting for you in Bale, right? Yeah! Love it. And here we get another angel's prayer from that box there. Go along this right over here to this nice box over here, which has another burnout. Yay for more magic. Oh, I was gonna cut this fight, but actually, a little bit off screen, I did one more encounter to reset the counter back to blue so that I wouldn't have to cut so early, and I finished off Dart's double slash edition. So I figured for this fight, why don't I show off Dart's Volcano edition, which is what I just switched to.
Yep. Go. Volcano.
So exciting! But yes, that starts Volcano Edition. It is his second edition. It is, I mean, at this point, it's actually as strong as his first edition at max. So, yeah. As you can see, my Levitz in my file still has a while to go before he maxes his first edition, so he's still going to be using harpoons. And as you can see, I'm still not attacking with Shauna because I want to max this one of my editions. And that's the other important note. If you're using an edition that has more than 2 hits, that's Volcano is the first one you'll have. You notice what that enemy did there. It's called counterattacking. Basically what it means is, for that part of the edition, and they will always use it on an edition that isn't the first or final edition, you are going to need to press circle instead of X to perform the addition correctly, and if you do not do the addition correctly, the enemy will damage you and send you flying back. Oh, and I believe all enemies are capable of counterattacks. And there are some enemies later on that will counterattack you, that will have an always counterattack, meaning if you ever mess up an addition on them. Oh, I'm glad I had Shauna blocking there. One also important note about blocking or guarding: if you are, if an enemy attempts to inflict a status effect upon you while you are blocking, it will not go through. So, as you saw there, that balloon, the ugly balloon, used an attack called Hazardous Gas. That attack has a possibility of poisoning you. If you are blocking, you won't get poisoned, but had she not been blocking, she would have been poisoned, which would have been very annoying. So, that's something that's good to note. Since I'm right here, I might as well heal up with the rock fireflies. Yay! And we're gonna go on. Alright, over here we of course have 2 ways to go. Before even bothering to get the box, I'm gonna go up here, which will give us a very large creature jumping around. and a box bear. I'm going to go to the box first and collect a spark net, and then I'm going to try to then you want to try to catch this creature. It's a little quick, but if you follow, as you notice, it's taking the longer path around. If you take the shorter path and don't get yourself caught, which can be very difficult to do, then you should catch the creature pretty quickly. Oh, and of course now it's taking the shorter path. But anyway, you're still a little faster, so I did catch the creature. And then you're going to come over to the creature, it'll drop a box. And in the box is a poison guard. Poison guard is something that you will want to use against the boss of this cave, because the poison guard will block against poison status. As you can see, I'm going to equip it to Shauna because you need her for the final boss of this cave. So it's nice to not have to worry about unpoisoning her. Alright, moving down here. Alright, and after that fight, I'm gonna come down here and now we get to find out about low inventory space. It's something that you will see quite often in this game. Wow, I have a lot of potions. Oh, I have a charm potion. Might as well use it. Alright, we get another one. Yeah, I don't tend to use them. I'm probably just gonna throw out the one I got because in this next room I know there's a couple boxes. So I'm not gonna heal up at the save. I'm just gonna save at the save point. I would heal up if they healed me. Alright, I'm pretty sure this box has a body purifier in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw away that charm potion. And I was correct, and that box was a body purifier. In this box, we get a bandana. I believe the bandana goes on Shauna. No, the bandana goes on Levitz, and is weaker than anything he has on him right now. So I don't know why the game bothers to give it to me, but woohoo! Nice to have it anyway. Alright. And here, we come into this room here. There's something there. Could that be the much talked about guardian of the cave? Shauna, step back. Don't worry about me, I can help. Yay! Though truly she can help. She is the most useful character in this battle, and you will see why. Here we have Urobolas, I believe his name is. And cool boss fight music. And Urobolas. Yes, Urobolas, excuse me. Urobolas starts off this battle by poisoning Dart. I'm not going to bother to heal it yet, but I could. I tend to not heal poison in this battle unless I really feel like I have to. Alright, I'm going to start this part of the battle off by attacking normally. And you'll see why. I don't want to use up my magic items just yet. And it bites Shauna. Ow. Urobolas is Earth Element, so I know you don't have any Wind Element attacks, but don't use if you still have the pellet from before, like me, I still have mine. Don't use it on him; it won't do any extra damage. Well, in fact, do less damage. Never mind. You know what I'm saying. Yes. This is the point in the fight where I was talking about. He will use that attack, and then he will go into his little hole and come up there. At this point in the fight, Levitz and Dart cannot hurt him. I'll show you. Levitz or Dart, when they go to attack, will find that they can't reach. It's too high. So at this point, Dart's going to heal up, and Shauna who can still hit with her bow, but at this point, I'd rather just attack him. Now, I got a dark mist from a battle earlier, um, and I kind of like the way it looks, so let's use one. So I'll show it off. It is the dark element single enemy hitting attack. Yeah. I remember my friend who had this game before me, was playing it, told me that he just refused to use the magic items. He refused to use them at this point in the game. So he told me you had to fight this boss entirely with Shauna's bow. You know, just imagine how much longer this boss would take if you didn't use a single magic attack. And now we just start going back to Burnout. And Urobolas is almost defeated, as you can tell by his little red arrow. Oh, my hand's getting a little tired. I can't do as well on those magic attacks. Alright, and that is how you know we have defeated Urobolas when Dart rushes forward and tries to attack him. He'll do that every now and then in these battles. It's just kind of a thing the developers wanted to do. It's kind of a nice little touch I like, but we did it! Da 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 da. Oh wait, wrong developer. Now let's make our way to Indel's castle. Shauna. Oof. That is one ugly creature. And Urobolas isn't dead. Oh no, it's gonna eat Shauna. But what's this? Shauna's glowing with light. And that light is apparently deadly to Urobolas. Ouch. Just completely obliterated it. I love that even the very low, even these very polygonal graphics can clearly show the stupefied expression on Dart and Levitz's faces. Just, I don't care how bad the graphics are. You look at those graphics, you go, these people are stupefied. It's an expression that can be very difficult to capture, and they nailed it. So, what on earth happened? I didn't know. That's a very good answer. Anyway, we're safe. We should think about how to get out of here. I'll be fine. It'll be fine when we get to Bale, I think. Alright. The best way to get out, the only way to get out, in fact, is this cave over here. Cave entrance. It is, in fact, an exit. Poison does linger after battle, so I'm going to take one of my body purifiers and cure Dart of his poison. Yeah. That also uses up an item in my inventory, but I used up a couple when I was, of course, attacking with the magic. So I'll grab that healing potion there, and this box over here, which has 50G. Alright, and with that, we are done with Limestone Cave. So after leaving Limestone Cave, we finally... And we're back. Something I want to mention, it didn't happen to be here, but in this little stretch of world map, there's actually a special enemy you can fight. I believe it's the yellow bird. The yellow bird will take 1 damage from any attack you throw at it, be it magic or physical. And at this point in the game, I don't think you can defeat it. The tonal vanishing generally won't work on it. I hear it can sometimes, but in my experience, it never has. So at this point, it's one of a series of enemies that are special enemies. They all run away from fights. They only have about 5 or 6 HP generally, but they will run away from fights. But if you manage to defeat them by using items you get later in the game, you get a very large reward for them. I believe the yellow bird will give you about 300 gold, so very useful. And here we are in Bale, the second town we visited. This is the hometown of Levitz, and where King Albert lives. We're going to want to go in that door, which takes you to the bar. And at the bar, we're going to buy a bottle of good spirits. For something we'll get a little bit later. This is the inn if you want to heal up or save. I don't, personally, but there you go. Out here, places with the yellow arrow are going to be inns and hospitals. Hospitals are where you cure your status ailments. Inns are where you'll heal up everything else. Blue arrows will be item and weapon shops. I believe this is the item shop. Yes, this is the item shop. Items are important. Buy. I always recommend looking at the item shop to see what kind of magic at the very least they have. And this place has 2 magic. A water-based individual attack, very useful. Let's see, I have 13 healing potions and 6 angel's prayers, which is actually too many. So I'm going to grab a couple of spear frosts, and always useful to have a couple of multi-attacks, or attacks for all, basically. They're going to attack every enemy on the screen, so they're very useful to have. Actually, I have so many healing potions, I'm actually going to sell a couple of them, because I don't need this many. I said I had 13. Yeah, I said too many. The detonate rock, which I'll use. Pellet to hold energy. Yeah. I'm actually gonna buy 2 more meteor falls and why not max out on spear frosts? Right, that's all I'm gonna want to do in the item shop. Alright. And now we're going to want to go to the left, towards Indel's castle. Right, in here, up here, there's the weapon shop. Always a good idea to check out the weapon shop. I don't think I actually want to buy anything here because the main weapons you'll get here are the bastard sword, which I already have, and the lance for Levitz. I believe it's a lance, or a weapon for Levitz, which we can get in the castle for free. But if we examine the spears, look what we find. A stone among them, which is a Stardust. Yes, that is our second Stardust of the game. Yeah, so I'm not going to go. I'm going to check out the weapon shop a little bit later after I've checked out the castle because there's a bunch of money to find in the castle. So, might as well get myself with as much money as I can. And here we have Indel's castle. I'm going to want to go in this door, or I recommend going in that door because you'll get into the bottom level where you'll find this chest, which has a sparkle arrow, which is a new weapon for Shauna. I'll get equipped in a second. And we'll go around, and you'll see here there's a blacksmith shop in the fireplace. Ouch! Oof! Our third Stardust. Alright, you can go down here and talk to the practicing knight. He doesn't really have anything interesting to say, but you can see they're working on potions here. And we're going to go up the stairs. Alright, in this area, we can go down here to get to the little enclosed area we saw before. And we can go down one more time to the basement. In the basement, we're going to want to turn this wheel here, which will open that gate, those 2 gates you'll see over there. So that's going to be important to do for getting another Stardust later in this town. that's not how you get there. Whoops. I'm sorry, I've never been very good at traversing this castle, to be honest. Up here is a chest with 50G in it. Yeah, it's certainly my recommendation before you visit a weapon shop in a town to explore the town, to see what you can find there, because a lot of times you will find things you didn't expect to find, and stuff that's in the weapon shop. The first time I played this game, I went through a lot of times where I would have, gone to the weapon shop, bought the most recent stuff, and found the same stuff, and then went and found another copy of it. Now I want to get up there to the top left, up here. That women will very often block your path. But once you get up here, you'll find another Stardust. Yes. And if you come up here, go around this little ledge on the outside into this room over here. This is kind of a long traverse, so just bear with me. We can get down here into this room, which we couldn't get to earlier, which will have this chest, which has an active ring. Active ring... I'm not actually sure what the active ring does off the top of my head. Doesn't really bode all that well for its use. So I'm going to check out what it does. The active ring avoids dispiriting, which is 100% useless at this point in the game. Because, as I said before, we don't gain SP yet. You don't start gaining SP until you already have an item. It's actually coming up, we're the part where we'll start gaining SP, but it's not here yet. And here we meet with King Albert. I am the head of the first knighthood, Levitz Lambert. I am back from the field. Oh, Levitz, I was feeling uneasy because I heard you were missing. Oh, please, make yourself comfortable, everyone. Your Majesty, it's more than I deserve. It was true. His Majesty was so dismayed that he couldn't see to his affairs of state. Oh, Noish, please don't tease me. Levitz is a friend from my childhood, as well as a master of martial arts. Anyway, where have you been? After my first knighthood was wiped out, I was captured by Sandora and held against my will in Helena prison. What? In Helena? However, thanks to the act of this young man, I managed to break out. Let me introduce these people to you. Dart and Shauna. They're from Cels. That is a very brief introduction. This is Dart, Shauna. They're from Cels. Thank you. I thank you for saving Levitz. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. In gratitude for this, tell me if you need anything. I have a favor to ask. Is it possible to take care of Shauna in this castle? What? Dart trying to not have to take care of Shauna himself? What a shock! And it seems Imperial Sandora attacked Celis to take Shauna away. So they could go after Shauna anytime. When I think of it, is that the reason you brought me here? Shauna. Couldn't walk next to Dart. I've been working towards that. There's nothing we can do about the time we were apart, but I want to be with you forever. And ever and ever and ever. Fortunately, you can't leave her here. Imperial Sandora tamed the force called the Dragon. And by that he means they got a dragon, and went on the offensive. We are holding the battle line in Hoax, but if the dragon can fly in low altitudes and directly attack the castle, we cannot defend it, even with the high ramparts. It's a hoax, alright. There's no place safe in Serdio now. Besides, you do know how she feels about you, don't you? He's known her for all of 2 minutes, and he knows more than Dart. Dart is what we call thick-skulled. Well, I take back the request, but one more thing. I would like to ask a question to Minister Noish. Oh, that name, Noish. Ask me anything, son. My head is filled with all the legends and history of the continent of Endiness. I was on a journey to pursue the Black Monster. The Black Monster. The monster that attacked Neat 18 years ago. The only thing I know is that he deprived me of my parents and my hometown. You were a victim of the devil. I want to hear everything. Please tell me about it. There's hardly any information left. There is something... I guess it's ironic, or supposed to be ironic. Almost everything that was related to the Black Monster was in one place. Neat. You do get to see it later, but basically that's where they held all of the information. It's kind of implied later. It's not a big spoiler or anything. Yes, I'm telling you something about Neat. Oh my god, but it's not a big spoiler or anything that you find that out, so. The only thing I know is that the black monster is called the Great Devil that disobeyed the Great Existence, and is also known for devouring the god. Devouring the god? Yes, and surprisingly, it shows up in history beginning 11,000 years ago. Now, hold the phone. 11,000 years is a really long time. I'm not actually quite sure off the top of my head how far back recorded human history goes back. I'm pretty sure recorded human history goes back something not quite 11,000 years, I'm pretty sure. And we've gone a long way since recorded human history began. So they've gone 11,000 years, and see where they are technology-wise. You can't even use the excuse, oh, well, they have magic and magic. No, because they don't have much in the way of magic in this world. 11,000 years, and they have recorded history back that far. That just blew my mind as a child when I thought about 11,000 years. They have, like, they know things. Like, they know a lot from 11,000 years ago, actually. So, 11,000 years ago is the time the Dragon campaign ended. You're exactly right, Your Majesty. Instead, I will tell you the story of the Dragon campaign. Wonderful. This is one of my favorite cutscenes.
As if they were gods, Winglies ruled over all living creatures and used them as slaves. The enslaved suffered a terrible domination and injustice. Their anger turned to a flame of fury. Then a gust of wind blew throughout the lands, spreading the flame to a blazing fire. The wind was Emperor Diaz. 7 incarnations of dragons served the Emperor. Their bravery inspired people to take up arms. Thus began the Dragon campaign. It was a harsh war. Both people and Winglies suffered countless injuries and fatalities. After a long period of suffering, it was the humans who acquired the future. The age of humans had begun.
That is all very important information. Anybody trying to keep along will want to remember that cutscene, keep it in their head for all story points in this game. The Black Monster appeared after the Dragon campaign. Excuse me, sir, it's time for the war meeting. I see. Tell them we will come soon. Dart, Shauna, this will be particularly harsh ones for those who no longer have a home to return to. The castle is very quiet now. It is the best place to think about your future. But this is our first time in a castle. Well, there's a place with a great view next to this room. Go enjoy yourself. The view from the castle. I see. Please excuse me. And she leaves. Woohoo! Finally. No, I'm kidding. I actually don't mind Shauna. I don't think she's really all that annoying. She's so hasty. Please excuse me too. And with that, I just looked at the time on this video. It's gone on way longer than I anticipated it would. And so I'm gonna excuse myself too. Haha, see what I did there? Alright, I'm sorry, I know I'm not funny. But yeah, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time.